Top 10 most dangerous airport runways in the world. See pics. Okay, now hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and this was 001 video. Now of course we're back here on some random ranking website that made an article about the top 10 most dangerous airport runways in the world, apparently. You know, these top 10 lists have been very popular recently, and I've really enjoyed reading through them. So let's just do that today. You know, a few days ago I already talked about one of these lists that you can find on the internet. That time around it was about planes, the worst planes that there are, and I found an article that says that the A380 is the second worst plane. And you know, I just thought I had to make a video about this one. Let's now do that very same video, airport edition. Yeah, today let's review a ranking like this. What I don't like already is that they start with number 1, the worst, the most dangerous, and that's what we don't want. Let's start with number 10. Alright, number 10, okay, that is Sabah Airport, which is interesting. I mean, I would even rank this like up to the top 3 of airports that are bad. I do agree to that one. I've already talked about this airport a lot, so I think you already know of this one. Shortest commercial runway that there is, around 400 meters. Very short indeed. Next up would be Lukla, which I would actually rank as the most dangerous airport that there is. I mean, I've also talked about this one a lot, so, you know, at least I could agree to this airport being on this list. Next up, there would be Barra Airport, which I don't quite understand. It's an actual beach runway. Very interesting. Of course, I've already talked about this airport, so we don't even have to mention it here. Well, I mean, I've been doing daily videos for 3 years now, so it's quite obvious. I do not think this is necessarily dangerous. Actually, there haven't really been any crashes here at this airport compared to something like Lukla here, so not particularly, I would agree. But the next one I really do not agree with, which is Narsarsuaq in Greenland. This is one of those airports that I've actually never talked about, because this is actually quite an easy airport to approach and to land at. As you can see, it's in Greenland, and to prove that this airport is not particularly dangerous, it might be quite, you know, unique as well, I'm going to land a big plane there here in the flight simulator. Let's just go for Flight Simulator 2020. I hope that this is actually implemented into FS 2020, because otherwise that would be weird. Okay, that's pretty weird now. It's actually not in the Flight Simulator 2020. Okay, of course we have another flight simulator to choose. Let's just go for X-Plane then. Alright, now welcome to Greenland. As you can see down here, it's pretty white. And again, we're in this 747-8 here. Now right in front of us is Narsarsuaq Airport or something. I mean, obviously you have harsh weather conditions in Greenland, but you know, these days it's not that much of a problem anymore. I don't think there are that many crashes in Greenland anymore, are there? It's not really that dangerous of a place to fly around in, especially at Narsarsuaq, where you have an almost 2,000 meter long runway, where even a 747 will be placed to fly into. Let's just go ahead and fly into this airport with this 747-8, and let's just hope that it does a safe landing here. For some reason, the sound of this 747 doesn't work. Apparently, it's an electric 747 that doesn't make any noise. Yeah, it's dead. Yeah, welcome to Swiss 001, where I don't even have working add-on planes, but let's try getting this plane landed down here. You know, this will not be that much of a challenge, but okay. Alright, a pretty hard landing there, but that's no problem. We can stop in no time, especially the 747-8 is a very quick stopper, as you can tell there. No worries at all here at Narsarsuaq Airport. I mean, of course, I have to say, though, that here I'm flying in perfect weather conditions, which is probably not always the case here in Greenland. I mean, what we can do is actually sync this to live weather to check how Greenland actually looks like, you know, from the weather perspective. Alright, there we go. And yeah, this is what the weather situation looks like in Greenland right now, and honestly, it's way worse here in Europe. Yeah, no, there are of course clouds, which I think is often the case here in Greenland, but that's totally flyable, especially with IFR technology. I wouldn't say this is one of the most dangerous airports at all. Alright, next up would be Princess Rojana Airport, St. Martin, which is another airport I disagree on, of course. We all know St. Martin Airport with the famous beach in front of the runway. Let's check that one also out. Alright, welcome aboard this 747, an actual plane that has landed here at our airport that's right ahead. This is actually like a high-profile major international airport with service from Europe. You can really get why this is the 5th most dangerous airport in the world. Or is it? Yeah, 6th most dangerous airport in the world. The way into the runway is right above water, which can be complicated for pilots. I do highly disagree. I mean, actually, this is such an easy airport that I'm quite confident that the AI will be able to land here as well. Yeah, the plane is literally flying itself now down to the runway. It's not the autopilot, it's an actual AI that learns and that thinks. It's actually not particularly intelligent, which the name might suggest. It might genuinely actually fail this landing. But this airport is so easy to land that I don't really think there should be any issue. I mean, it is quite a unique airport with all the water and especially the beach right in front of the runway, but again, this should not be an issue at all. I mean, you know, you have to consider there were actual 747s carrying 500 people flying to this island, so I don't really worry about this that much, but I wouldn't say that I'm overly confident for this letting to go well, to be quite honest. The plane is pretty fast here, and we're very much to the left of the center line. The plane is doing some kind of dolphin maneuvers. I don't like this one. All right. Oh, I think we're, there we go, we have touchdown, and I think the plane is stopping. I have no idea what it's doing, but as you can see, this is a perfectly landable runway, 7,000 feet, I'm saying. This is really no problem, even for the biggest of the biggest plane, even though, you know, 7,000 feet is kind of the limits, but it's still within the limits, you know what I mean? So that's no problem. This is really not the 6th most dangerous airport on this planet. Let's move on. Actually staying here in the Caribbean with St. Bartholomew, I would agree, this is a little bit of a dangerous airport. We've talked about this so much, I think we can skip this. Yeah. Next up is an airport that I really don't get, and that is Kansai Airport in Japan. As you can see, it is a very unique airport again. Alright, welcome to Japan in our infamous 747, and we are actually approaching Kansai Airport. This is, by the way, the airport serving Osaka City. As you can see, this is a very big city. They don't have enough land to build actual airports, which is why they have started building airports on water, on actual artificial islands there. And this is actually super interesting because this is actually the most remote airport from land, I think, so far. I think there is a tunnel connecting this airport with mainland, or maybe a bridge as well. Oh yeah, there is a bridge there as well, which works, I guess. But just the fact that this is located on water doesn't make it any more dangerous, does it? I mean, I don't really get it. Let's go ahead and get our 747 landed here. This should genuinely not be an issue. Alright, why do they say that's the 4th most dangerous airport though? Alright, earthquakes, that is true. Cyclones and storms, that's true as well. Takeoff and landing at night are strictly prohibited. That's interesting. I mean, why? Okay, this is not a dangerous airport still. I mean, it's still a major international airport serving a big city in Japan. This is definitely not dangerous. Why you cannot land and take off at night, I don't really get. I mean, they surely have ILS technology and all that stuff. Like, I don't get it, but okay. I mean, still, this is no dangerous airport at all. Why am I even doing this landing? This is a 10,000 feet long runway, 3,000 meters. That's no problem for a 747, of course. But alright. I would like to let the AI land again, because then I wouldn't even have to do any work here. But, you know, that didn't turn out very well last time, so let's not do that. Like, okay, I think they should have named this list the most unique airports that there are, because this is, I mean, it is very unique indeed, but it's not dangerous in any ways. Okay, what else do they have on the list, I do wonder. Next up is Gisborne Airport in New Zealand. That one is actually a very interesting one, because it has a train track running across the runway, which is very unique again. And I'm about to prove that this is not a dangerous airport either. Alright, this is Gisborne here again in New Zealand. This one has a runway of 4,200 feet, which the train track runs across. That should be doable in a 747-8, but this is a small airport made for small planes. But still, I won't struggle to land a 748 here. No worries. Oh wow, I haven't realized how nice New Zealand looks here in the Flight Simulator 2020. I do wonder how they represented the train track running across the runway. Let's just see how that looks like. Alright, the little airport of Gisborne. Again, it's a small airport made for small planes, not particularly 747s. Let's see how that one looks here, and let's especially see how the landing will look here. How do I get the camera position up? We're literally like the smallest person on Earth. Like, I genuinely cannot see anything outside of the window. I literally have to use outside view to see where I'm going. This sucks so much. Alright, come on. All right, a little late landing there. I'm not really able to land planes from the outside view, but I think we're gonna stop anyway, right? Let's hope for a stop. Oh, yeah, this is okay. Okay, that really did not work. I'm sorry. All right, we have to say that I landed very late. I mean, I wasn't really able to land this plane in any way because, you know, I was flying this in outside view, which is, you know, impossible. But that doesn't really matter. What we're actually here for is, of course, a train track, which I guess is implemented here. We can actually see it. It's a train track. I guess there's no trains running across it here in the flight simulator, but it's there in a way. And yeah, this was kind of like a miserable landing, but that doesn't matter. We can try another airport. Let's see what else they give here. Another airport here in New Zealand. Actually looks very interesting here with these surfers. Wellington Airport. Now, number 2, second most dangerous airport on this planet. I mean, you can already see an A320 in the picture. And of course, no airline is going to fly an A320 with hundreds of passengers on board if it's the second most dangerous airport. All right, let's land our 747-8 here. I'm even going as far as saying that the Gisborne airport that we were just landing at is a lot more dangerous than Wellington. Here's Wellington International Airport. Again, a 6,000 feet long runway, which I don't see any problem with. Let's just go ahead, fly. All right, Wellington Airport is ahead. I mean, it is also quite unique with all the water and all the stuff going on, but it's not dangerous either, is it? But let's just see. I would have probably even visited New Zealand this winter, but COVID-19. I mean, haven't they actually eliminated COVID? They're not letting anyone in, and, you know, there's no COVID there anymore. They're pretty much COVID-19 free, which is very interesting. But, you know, they're not letting anyone in. That's the problem. All right, we do actually have to say that there's a few winds here, 15 knots, but that's no problem, really, because, you know, it's headwinds, so they're not really affecting us in any way. And again, I cannot see anything outside of the cockpit, which is why we're gonna have to go for outside view again, which is gonna totally mess up our landing. The 7,000 feet somewhat runway is ahead. You can already tell this is not the second most dangerous airport in the world. All right, come on, let's get this plane landed down here. That was really not a good landing. Let's go ahead and get this plane stopped. There we go. That went a lot nicer than Gisborne, so I don't really get it. Apparently, though, there's an A320 stuck in the terminal building, but that's another story. All right, what else have we got? We have Courchevel, the most dangerous airport. Maybe. Yeah, but I would probably put Kluttig here on the number 1 spot. Yeah, this is a pretty bad ranking there. I do not agree to it at all, but that's another story. So, yeah, guys, thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you tomorrow. As always, good night.